Hysteria. So, this video is gonna mainly focus on the topic hysteria. Let's get started. So, the plan for today's lecture is to know the synonyms, that is, the various names of hysteria, the features of it, two new terms, somatoform disorder, special type of hysteria, and two fancy phenomena. I promise you would really love it. What are the synonyms of hysteria? Hysteria is also known as the dissociative disorder or the conversion disorder. So what happens is that the effects of external environment will enter the unconscious level, causing physical symptoms and sometimes pseudo seizures. There are a few features of hysteria. The features are that the person becomes unconscious, leading to development of physical symptoms and sometimes pseudo seizures. Then comes the two new terms about hysteria, that is aesthesia, abasia, and labella indifference. Well, these two phenomena are really very complex and they're funny as well. So aesthesia, abasia means that there is a loss of function despite normal anatomy and physiology, meaning even if we take an x-ray and look for any derangement in the anatomy, there won't be any deformity or any problem at all which is diagnosable. So that is aesthesia, abasia, yet the person will say there is a loss of function. Labella indifference is yet another phenomenon where the emotions do not match with the loss suffered by the person. For example, if there's a loss of a loved one, the person will unusually be laughing and giggling at that circumstances, which is clearly not matching the external environment. And then we go to the somatoform disorder. Somatoform disorder are also known as the somatic symptoms and related disorder. Well, it is an illness in which a person comes with somatic complaints for which the doctor could not find any sign. So it has a few types such as the undifferentiated somatoform disorder, the somatization disorder, the somatoform pain disorder, the hypochondriasis, and the body dysmorphic disorder. Let's see one by one. What is somatization disorder? No, before that, somatoform disorder itself. Somatoform disorder has two synonyms. The synonyms being somatic symptoms and related disorder. Well, what are the symptoms of it? As we already know, the person has only symptoms but no signs. So, somatization disorder. In somatization disorder, the patient will come with a complaint of 4 pain symptoms, 2 gastrointestinal symptoms, and there will be 1 genitourinary symptom and pseudoneurological symptom like tingling sensation, weakness in the limb, and then they would do doctor shopping to know the diagnosis. So this is the pain symptom, this is the gastrointestinal system, this is the genitourinary system, and that's the tingling pseudoneurological symptom. Moving on to the undifferentiated somatoform disorder. Here, it is almost similar to the somatization disorder except that the patient complains of 4 pain symptoms. No. In somatization disorder, they used to complain of 4 pain symptoms, but in somatization disorder, but in USD, that is undifferentiated somatoform disorder, as we already know, it will show almost all the symptoms of somatization disorder. For example, instead of 4 pain symptoms, there could be only 3 pain symptoms as seen here. Instead of 2 gastrointestinal symptoms, there could be only 1 gastrointestinal symptom. Which brings us to the next topic, somatoform pain disorder. Somatoform pain disorder is also called the body dysmorphic delusion, as it is often interchanged. So here there is going to be pain in at least three different places for a duration of almost half a year. Then comes hypochondriasis. Hypochondriasis, in this disorder, there is either no pathology or minimal pathology. Well, that pathology is taken as a sign of a deadly disease, and in order to clear his doubt, the person will often go and visit a doctor. Then comes the body dysmorphic disorder. Body dysmorphic disorder is a disorder when a person has doubt on his external appearance. In case the person takes any attempt to change his body, then it's called a body dysmorphic delusion. Okay, so we are going to see yet another few symptoms, diseases like malingering. Malingering is basically fakeful production of medical illness for some secondary gain. Well, after knowing the term secondary gain, we need to know what a primary and a secondary gain difference is. So, the primary gain is that there will be a relief from the unconscious brain. So, the psychic complex will be not there. That is the primary gain. But what is a secondary gain? As a result of the secondary gain, the person can take a day off, can just stop going to work. That's a secondary gain. So in malingering, say the person wakes up very happily, but then turns out the person gets to know he or she has a test and she goes back to sleep. So malingering is basically done for a secondary gain. Then comes Munchausen syndrome. In Munchausen syndrome, there will be a primary gain, there's no secondary gain. Meaning the person has a feeling that he is having some sort of a trouble with the body, but then the doctor is not able to diagnose it. Well, it's basically for a primary gain because the person gets rid of his own psychic conflicts. And of course, Munchausen syndrome is named after the French soldier named Munchausen who first practiced this phenomena. Munchausen syndrome by proxy is yet another phenomenon where the person who is suffering from this Munchausen syndrome by proxy is going to bring his or her loved one to the doctor in order to get some opinion. So that's Munchausen syndrome by proxy. So there's this mom who loves her kid very much. So what she does is, in order to gain attention to the child, she takes up a thermometer, put it in a hot teacup, and then the temperature is obviously going to be 104 or something. So that gains doctor's attention, right? That was it. And then there are these special types of dissociative disorder or the conversion disorder, which is the other name given to hysteria. So the first one we are going to talk about is dissociative amnesia. In dissociative amnesia, it's often associated with the loss of memory associated with a stressful event like death of a loved one causes memory loss. The second is dissociative fugue, meaning the person will travel somewhere and will never know how he got there. So it's going to be like this. How did I get here? Next comes dissociative identity disorder. Well, it's also known as multiple personality disorder, where two or more personality of the same person is present, yet the person will not be aware that all the personalities are his own. He would actually think that the other personalities are other person itself. Then comes depersonalization, meaning the person looks into the mirror and thinks that his body is changed, his or her face is changed, or the arms is changed, or the legs are changed. Derealization disorder, meaning the person thinks that the entire external environment is changed, meaning the person feels that strange me in a strange world. So multiple personality syndrome is the other name given to dissociative identity disorder. Well, that's the famous Tamil movie called Onion. Do watch it, it's really good. Then comes Gansen syndrome. Gansen syndrome is basically the person, when asked a question, he would give approximate answers or past pointing. So if a person is asked what is 5 plus 5, he will say 9 or 11, which is approximately closer to the answer, but then he never tells the correct answer. As promised, there are these two nice phenomenon. One is deja vu and the other is Jamaivo. So let's take a short look at this video.
It's a phenomenon known as deja vu. You arrive at a place you've never been, but it feels familiar. You look into the face of a stranger, and you feel like you've known her all your life. And we met.
So that was about deja vu. So what deja vu means that the person knows, the person is unfamiliar with a certain aspect, but then he has a feeling that he is already very familiar. Then comes Jamaivu, which is yet another interesting phenomena, where Jamaivu meaning unfamiliarity with familiar person. So both of these phenomena are going to be seen in anxiety and temporal lobe lesion. As always, stay in the cool era cholera. Hope you liked my video. Give it a thumbs up and yeah, click the subscribe button. Thanks a lot.